I'm just going to share this with my entourage lads. 1 second. Copy link. Let's get this shared. Hold on. I am seriously I'm a machine anyway. I'm a machine any week. But I'm a production machine this week. I'm a factory. I'm a work factory. I'm a Stalinist work camp. Been working myself to the bone this week. Yeah, dawn till dusk, my brother. So getting up, doing all sorts. I've got my business to run. I've got a very fucking demanding time of year. And I'm doing all this content. Look at this. Look at these videos that I'm putting out about my harem life, about all sorts of videos, all sorts of content. So I'm just relentless. If I'm not doing my business work, I'm doing that at the moment. That is what I'm doing. But I'm actually quite knackered today. So tomorrow, full day off tomorrow. I've earned my day off, but I might come back tomorrow night and do a live. But in this one, we're going to talk about an amazing topic that has just been circulating. In my elite private members club of pirates of Looney Tunes. Orlando, goodbye, my brother. I will see you later, you absolute bomb. Bye. See you, bruv. Go jerk off into a sock. Yeah, go fuck yourself. I don't take any shit on this channel, by the way. You come on and insult me, I'll just kick you straight off, yeah? You think I'll let you in my house and insult me? No. And it won't happen on this channel either. Anyway, so we're going to talk today about, this topic of men over 35 being targeted by matchmakers, successful men over 35 being targeted by matchmakers. My God, I've got to kick a few people off here, man. Bye, people. You're all going, bruv. You're all off. Bye. Alex, you can stay. You've been polite. So men over 35 being targeted by matchmakers, being targeted by Hinge, being targeted by Tinder, all of this bullshit. Right, this is not the way to go, my brothers. SB, how are you, man? SB, I don't know why it's Thursday night. People have got nothing to do, have they? I don't mind, but it just slows me down on the topic. Oh, you're in Iceland, brother. We're going to get onto that in a moment. We'll get onto that. Let me just delve into this topic, SB, because I think you're going to like this one. So this is about men over 35 being targeted, as I said previously, by matchmaking services. They got a hot girl to call you up and say, hey, sir, as part of our private members club, as part of our tennis club, as part of our bowls club, as part of our shooting club, we can set you up with a great partner with mutual interests, right? And you go and you pay your monthly dues, whatever, 500, 300, 1,000, whatever it is. And they've got to go and find you somebody, right? Which they obviously don't do. They just take, I'm going to get this guy out, man. Terrifier, just get off my channel, you mentally ill freak. Honestly, just go away. What is wrong with people? Oh my God. People need to see some psychiatrists. Oh my God. So they get targeted, and the men are probably the ones who are paying the most, but also the desperate women in their late 30s, early 40s. Late 30s is last chance saloon. It's already too late. The ship has already sailed for the girls, but in their delusional mentality, they think it's not, right? But it's already too late for them. And so they get targeted as well. They got to pay up. It's tragic on both sides, really. It's tragic. And my channel is for men. This is a men's interest channel. Do not go down this route. Do not go down this route. I also think the same with Hinge as well. It's like all professionals. You can hook up with other professionals. I'm ambivalent on apps because the case for apps is simply that you could meet a girl who is actually very good, who you just don't have access to on a day-to-day basis. So I actually think that is a positive thing. I had this experience in Brazil where I was hitting the streets. I approached a Miss Universe in Brazil. I got a contact as well. I was hitting the clubs. I was doing my due diligence in the streets and the clubs. And then I got online. I was like, wow, there's girls from other parts of the city that I've got it's like 40 minutes away, who are actually great, really interesting and gorgeous as well. And so from my point of view, I can see that. You should only be online, in my opinion, if you're doing at least 10 approaches a week, or at least you're doing a session of 2, 3 approaches every week. Then I'll let you go online. I will allow you to. Yeah. Otherwise, I think you're just excuse making. You're just excuse making. And that's the only time I think it's acceptable, is if you've already covered the base of approach. Okay. But all of this stuff, it's just Hinge, Tinder, alcohol. It's just a way for people to avoid doing what they really want to do, which is just go over to the girl, say hello, just talk to her in the day. Yeah. And just get things moving, get a conversation going, bit of flirtation, good eye contact with her. There's a few other tricks as well I've got up my sleeve. There's a few other things I might be doing. Yeah. But basically it's pretty simple. And you don't have to be good. You can be quite shit and the girl will like you because she likes you more than she likes the approach. Yeah, I know, because girls have said to me, oh, you were really shy on your approach when you approached me, but I liked you. And it's like, yeah, fine. I still did it, didn't I? I still went, you know? So I take that as a victory, I take that as a win anyway. And then there's other girls who, yeah, at a later date, when I got better, more confident, they're like, fucking hell, you really know how to do this, don't you? It doesn't really matter. It doesn't really matter. And even to this day, I fluctuate. Yeah, speed dating and those events are the same. Hey, brother, I'm 22. You inspire me to pursue my dreams. If that's serious, that's really fucking cool, mate. So I appreciate the comment. So yes, all of those things can be solved by a two-pronged attack. A two-pronged attack. If you want to sort your personal life out, and this will sort it out to a point you will completely transcend the game. Two-pronged attack. Prong number one is your life ecosystem. Health, wealth, relationships. We talked about this on other lives. Get something going on the financial side. Just get something going on, whatever it is. Get your health up and running. Get your health good, and get your relationships good, man. Get your relationships good. Yeah, health, wealth, relationships. That's a fundamental that needs to be in place. And one other thing, actually, there's another thing as well. Get your North Star in place as well. What's your North Star? So health, wealth, relationships, that's grounds you. But you also need a North Star. And let me tell you why in a moment. A North Star is something that orientates you. It gives you a direction. And you don't need to share that with anybody else. Your North Star could be, I want to read every page of the Bible. It could be, I'm going to read every page of Homer, the Homeric epics. It could be, you know what? I don't know. I want to have a painting displayed in an art gallery. I don't give a fuck if it takes me the next 30 years to do that painting. I've got this North Star, or it could be an obvious one in your business, whatever. You need to have a North Star. Yeah, work is good for that for a lot of guys. You need a North Star. Why? Because if you don't have a North Star that supersedes everything, or even supersedes other things, or is a big goal, you risk being a simp to the girl, because women, reproduction, all that's going to take the place of the North Star. So by having a North Star, my North Star is my exploration, my travels, and even writing as well. I've got ambitions with my writing, and it doesn't. It's so. My book has taken so long to write. I don't even really fucking. It's like one of those things. I don't even. It's a part of me now. I just carry on at this point. I'm just editing now for like the 5th time, right? But all of these things, travel, the writing, even language learning, there's like for me, there's a constellation of things, right? That's my North Star, really. So if it works out with a girl or it doesn't, it's not really going to change that much. I'm going for this North Star anyway. For you, it is what it is for you. It's individualized. Yeah. This is really important, because if not, you're likely to simp. You're very likely to simp, or a lot of guys will. Okay. So what's your purpose? What's your purpose? This is not some American be on your purpose bullshit. This is actually, what's your priority? The woman can't be your priority. So health, wealth, friendships, social circle, North Star, any woman at that point is going to be lucky to get into your life, and she's going to feel it, and it's going to be great. Okay. Now, all of that being said, having built all of that, which might take you 6 months, it might take you a year, formula, right? Could be less. You might have it built already. The last little cherry on top of the cake here is cold approach, is going out, daytime, bang, hey, you look amazing. Or hey, excuse me, stop. Hey. Going out and doing some cold approach, going out and doing some approach. Yeah. Going out and do 3 approaches on a Saturday. Going out and do 1 approach. Just do 1. Make it count. Yeah. So the group I'm part of, the Entourage, absolute band of fucking lunatics, to be honest with you, all over the world. People on, I mean, far from perfect in that group, which is in many cases, people all coming in for their different reasons, right? People have got all sorts of shit going on. All sorts of shit going on. Everyone's got all the different things. Some people have got insecurity, others they've got everything, but they don't realize they've got everything. Other people got this, that, and the other, people younger, older, all these different things, right? One commonality is everyone's building and everyone is going out and approaching. Yeah. And you can't fuck with that. You can't fuck with it. When you're with a girl who you've approached in the street and you're able to continue in that vein with all the stuff I've just mentioned there, with your North Star, it's a beautiful story. It's a beautiful story. I would prefer, I've thought about this. What if I could get a better girl off Tinder, right? Or I could get a girl who wasn't quite as good, but I met her in the street and we had that story going forward. I think that's actually a really interesting dynamic. Like what would I prefer out of those two? I think I prefer meeting the girl in the street, even if the girl from Tinder was like, she was even better. She was like a fucking 50. She was a 10. Yeah. So that's interesting. So I've got more topics, but SB, if you're still on, mate, fucking tell me about Lapland. I've got more topics to come, but yeah, tell me about Lapland, brother. Yeah, speed dating is complete horseshit. You know, it's sad for these girls at that age because it's game over for them. It is what it is. It's like, you're infertile, love. Best country for cold approach. What a fucking question. You know what? There's a country that's so fucking... The best country is probably where you find the girls the most attractive. That's what I would say. The best country is where you find the girls most attractive. I like Latinas primarily. So it's been over in South America. I've got one country on my sleeve, which I don't fucking tell anybody about. But if you like Latinas, obviously South America. Also countries where there's a little bit of a culture of an approach, I don't think is a bad thing either. The girls kind of get it. They expect men to be men. Again, Latin America's good. The Balkans, there's no culture of approach here, as far as I can tell in the daytime. But there is sexual polarity between the sexes, and I think it's all right to approach. I've done a lot of approaching out here for the experience, and I've really enjoyed it. It's been some great girls. Serbia, Bosnia, Macedonia now. They've all been good, bruv. They've all been good. I would say Belgrade would be probably my favorite out of those. Bosnia wasn't that far behind, to be honest. I thought the girls were some of the girls in Bosnia were fucking fit. Those blondes with blue eyes and shit. Oh my God. England can be quite good, you know. England's good. Because there's no competition, bruv. There's no fucking competition. Just a load of resentful men. Got no balls these days. Women are just waiting for it. Women are still in their animality in the UK. The men are being cocked more than the women. Women are in their animal nature in England. And I genuinely felt sorry for the women in England. When I got back, because I've been in Latin America and the Caribbean, where the men are animals for approach. And I was hanging around with Spanish guys and Italian guys as well, and also local guys, animals. And then I got back to the UK, and I couldn't believe my eyes. I was like, what the fuck is going on? Even in the clubs, these new young guys, they don't even approach. They don't even approach, bro, in the clubs. I'm 39. How is it that me at 39, how can I be going and getting girls who are 21? Yeah. Because I remember when I was that age, when I was 20, 21, there were 25-year-old animals in there. Animals approaching like crazy. Yeah. In their prime. I'm a fucking old man with a grey beard, and I'm getting the girls because the young guys are shit. And also, some of the young guys are so passive and fucking resentful that the women have stepped into it. It's fucked, dude. It's fucked. So yeah, it's easy. UK's piss. UK's piss, brother. Not worth it, but anyway. Okay, SB, here's what I want to talk to. The Aurora Borealis, as we speak, right at this moment, man, it's a different dimension. An international crew, second day of work, you feel like you've been here already a week already, man. You've got a hell of a life, dude. SB. So I don't want to chew, actually. That's bad manners. Wow. That's sick, dude. That's sick. Yeah. I'm actually thinking of getting a place just for one night on the mountaintop here in Skopje, just so I can have the view down just for one night. It's got like it's like a dome, you know, so you could see out and stuff. I bet the view and stuff there, though, is absolutely mental. What's the crew like? Where these internationals from? Just anywhere, just all over the place. That's proper work, man. Proper work. That beats fucking being a fucking air host, man. So let's have a look at some of the other topics. Oh, so you're Scandinavia, Wild Peach. You're Scandinavia. You're from Scandinavia, or you think it's the best? Yeah. Let's carry on. So that was just that's my prescription, is life ecosystem plus daytime cold approach. That is my prescription. You can't just do your life ecosystem and think it's going to happen. It won't. Also, you can't just do cold approach and think that's a get out, because it's not. If you're a freak with no social skills, you dress terribly, you've got bad breath, you can't approach to save your life, and you're going out, you're going to get crucified, bruv. You're going to get crucified. I always remember these guys. Some of the cold approach guys are absolute freaks. They shouldn't be in the streets. They shouldn't be. I'm sorry, they shouldn't be. They need to go and get some social skills and get a social circle first. I remember the guys in Manchester, they were getting battered, bruv. They were getting battered. They were getting nowhere. And I could see their approaches because I'm proficient. Yeah, I'm proficient, right? SB's seen my approach is proficient, right? The girls in every country who've seen my approach is proficient. But I'm still trying to get so much better. There's even one guy, there's a couple of guys in the entourage where I'm like, yeah, I can't wait to meet this guy because I want his feedback on my approach. Is there something I'm not seeing about my approach? These guys who've got no clue what they're doing, they're out in Manchester. They're fucking clueless. They're getting no feedback and they're getting battered. Yeah. They shouldn't be in the streets. They need to sort their lives out. Same with the Russian guys in Belgrade as well. They fucking sucked, dude. There was a guy there, he had this weird fucking long hippie beard, but like, it was like mine, right? And then it had like these weird little dreads coming down, this Russian dude. Skinny as a fucking rail. Not that that's a problem, but like, wear the clothes that are going to make you look good in that. Do you know what I mean? It just looked so out of place. So sort yourself out and then approach. Yeah. So you've been out here a week already, SB. Oh, you live in Ireland. Oh, you're from Italy. Ah, mate. Well, well, here we go, brother. The Italians are some of the best natural approaches. No, they're not some of. They are the best in Europe. They're the best. Straight up. They're the best, bro. Yeah. So, yeah. Welcome aboard, mate. Glad to have you on the channel. Yeah, the Italians are absolute monsters. People from Hungary, SB, people from Hungary, Germany, France, Kosovo. It's chaos, man, but it's fun. Nice. Hey, bro, I'm thinking of taking a trip to Kosovo soon. Get a bus up into Pristina. You might have a little cold approach Kosovo episode coming out, yeah? Underground in a few weeks' time, we'll see. We'll see. Yeah, my friend, Wild Peaks, my friend in the entourage, he's enamored with Scandinavia, and from what I've seen from him, it looks dementedly good quality. It looks crazily good. So I might have to take a trip. I'm resisting it in my mind because I wanted to stay in the Balkans this year. I like these savage Balkan girls as well, but from what my friend has shown me, it's kind of like, yeah, that looks absolutely ridiculously good. Yeah, mate, Kosovo approach, dude. I'll fucking do it. Don't worry. Don't worry, dude. I will. Underground, yeah. I'll fucking go in with the shades on, the cap down, you know. Be nice and I'll sniper it off. Just a few, just a few little approaches, maybe some tourist girls or something. Um, that's my plan really this year is just to have my little calling card as I've genuinely approached in places where angels dare not tread. You know, I've approached in Istanbul. To most English guys, like doing approaches in Bosnia, to most English guys, that will sound fucking crazy. I know to you it's normal, but to a lot of people in the UK, that's like, what the fuck, dude? What are you doing? Yeah, Estonia is similar to the Balkans. Dua Lipa type of girls from Kosovo. Oh, okay. Yeah. Samba. Samba, yeah, it's a good point. We're gonna get onto the samba. We might put a bit of samba music on. We might put a few tunes on. So yeah, that's the serious stuff. I've said the dual pronged attack. Yeah, life ecosystem plus cold approach. Nice guyism. Nice guyism. This is a big problem, man. It manifests itself in a lot of ways. Nice guyism. People pleaserism. I've thought about this a lot. People pleaserism. Because in your business, you kind of have to be a people pleaser sometimes, don't you? It's about doing that in the right way. You kind of do sometimes have to be a bit of a people pleaser. But nice guyism, yeah. It's something I see in the entourage. I don't think the guys would be offended to say this. There's an over-representation of nice guys in the entourage. Over-representation. And nice guyism is actually, I've done a video on this. Nice guys are not actually that nice. Because it's actually an implied bargain. I'll be nice to you so that you give me something, or so that, XYZ. Or actually, alternatively, another one is just fear. It's like an instilled fear of rejection, which actually in a way is more forgivable because it's less manipulative. So there's those two causes of nice guyism. Yeah, it's kind of like a learned response. It could be, it could be just like you grew up with no backup, man. You grew up with you had no fucking backup. You had no brothers, you had no dad, you had no fucking nothing helping you. And you have to resort to nice guys in order to sort of be accepted into the wolf pack somehow. So I get it. Or it could be people's issues with parents and all that type of shit. At the end of the day, though, we're much bigger than all of this. What we grew up with, we're thousands of years old, hundreds of thousands of years old. Our DNA is fucking ancient. So all that stuff, get in touch with the inner caveman. That's my response to all of this. And anything else on nice guyism? Going for what you want. Going for what you want. I'm gonna go on a little tangent here with going for what you want. This is very important. A lot of guys are actually just afraid to go for what they want. I'm one of them. I'm fucking one of them. So I know this is true. There's girls, it's like, I can get the girl who's like the 7.5, that maybe even the 8. I can get her without really trying. But the 10, I want the 10. Yeah. But it's like, no, I'll go for the 7, or go for the 8. Yeah. We've all done that, man. Or some guys have. I'm one of the guys who's done that. And it's like, it's been instilled into me from childhood. I'm going to psychoanalyze myself here. It's fucking obvious. It's been instilled into me. You can have something good as long as it's not what you want. Whatever you want, you can't actually have or do that, but you can do this instead. That was always the message. And I always remember rebelling against it. I was just like, fuck you. I don't want anything then. Fuck off. I don't want anything. Like, I want to go and do this. It's like, no, go and do this. But it was, that sounds like I'm moaning about normal parenting, but it's a fucked up thing my old man used to do. It's like a weird power trip that he does it with grown adults. He'd do it with my mom. He'd do it with everyone. So it's like, you say, yeah, just order me 2 coffee. Just like, I'll just get a coffee. I'll just get a latte. and he'll bring you back a hot chocolate and tell you why a hot chocolate's good. But that's like a minor example, right? Or it might be, you know, my mum, I want us to do this. No, we'll do this. But like, it was always shit. You know, I can't quite explain it, but like, it's a weird one. It's a weird one. It's a weird one. Yeah, it's one of those things that it doesn't sound that it sounds very normal, but actually it's quite pathological. It's actually pretty pathological to constantly tell people what they want with their food. No, you're gonna get this. It's a weird fucking psycho thing this guy's got. Um, so part of me in my mind still has that pattern, although I have crushed it quite a lot. I'll say that I've pretty much crushed it a decent amount, but it's just there in the background. There's also a trap for me as well, which I think work has to be gruelingly hard, and I have to get paid the minimum acceptable amount, like a good amount, but like I have to really bleed for that minimal amount of money. And this is something I'm actually fucking really trying to shift this year. So yeah, I realize this in my own work. Like there's some of my work that I do which is pretty decent pay and it's way easier, and then some of the stuff which is fucking grueling for not that much. So I'm realizing now that is bullshit. It's the systems you put in place. The systems you put in place. You don't have to work hard. You actually don't. If you work smart and you put the right systems in place and you work with the right people, it's easy and you make more money. So yeah, so these are things I'm shifting this year. It's an ongoing process, man. I'm not the finished article. No way. Yeah. Oh yeah, SB, mate. Just log into Christian. Log into my boys are Christian Casanova, a guy called Sinner to Winner. Check him out, Sinner to Winner. He works with addiction, but he's a fucking legend. Check his channel out. A guy called Pull University. These are all guys in the entourage. Yeah, I know all these guys. They're all fucking good. They're all top guys, man. They're all top guys. So yeah, that's why it's the reason I started to do videos was really because of Christian, to be honest. Because I saw him doing it. I saw Ephraim at Pull University doing it. And I was like, man, I know these guys. I know it sounds weird, but like I would never think to do videos before because it's like, well, that's what RSD do. That's what some other guy does. It's not what I do, you know? But eventually I did start to realize I was like, man, I've actually lived the life. I have actually lived the life that a lot of these people are talking about. I've actually fucking lived it already. So I can come on and I can share my experiences. So yeah, but no, it's a crazy group, man. It's a crazy group. SB, it's a crazy group, mate. It's a crazy group. Okay, so what else did I have planned? Yeah, so nice guyism. It's just basically growing up. At the end of the day, it's growing up. And it's also, you know, not allowing these patterns to sabotage you, just getting over it. Just fucking get over your own bullshit. Like I can psychoanalyze and all that type of thing, but eventually you just got to get over your own bullshit, you know. Do shots of rakia, although this is just a fucking ice mocha. There you go. This is my vice. Ice mocha life. I'm finishing Bridge on the Drina. I tell you what, mate, this book is a hard book, but I've really enjoyed it. I've really, really enjoyed it. Bridge on the Drina. If anyone wants to read a masterpiece about Bosnia and about the River Drina, I'm in the last chapter now. I've got about 30 pages to go. It's one of those, right? I fucking wanted to throw it in the river a few times. When I say a few times, every day. But then I'll go and take it out on like a Tuesday night to the bar and I'll just sit there reading and I'm like, I'm absolutely enraptured by this guy's ability. So yeah, this will be the last fiction novel I'm going to read this year. I've decided after this book, I'm not reading any more fiction until 2026. I'm just going to read business books this year. Maybe a bit of Nietzsche, philosophy or something, but I'm not going to read it. And maybe some language stuff. I'm not reading anymore. This is my last one because I want to keep my mind focused. But I couldn't stop reading it. I was like, I can't stop reading this guy halfway through. It's too good. This is an insult. It would be an insult to this guy. Yeah, he's fucking, I know he's dead, but it would be an insult to his spirit. So yeah, so the bridge over the Drina interlude. Oh, pay for play as well. Pay for play. Yeah, pay for play. So this is guys paying money to get laid. Paying money to get laid. What do I think of this? So there's a few guys in the entourage who've done pay for play. I've done it a couple of times, to be honest. I've never actually, I don't know if I've admitted that before. I've done it a couple of times. Once with a fucking massage, a French massage. Yeah, that was pretty good. I don't regret it, to be honest. It was fine. That was actually like a tantric massage. I'd actually probably recommend that, to be honest. It was a tantric massage, and like, God, how old would I have been? I've been at 25 doing that. I was earning good money at the time. I was like, fuck it, I'm living in the south of France. Fucking hell. I couldn't get in with these girls mostly. They were too fucking rich. I had no fucking clue what was going on. And I was just so clueless about the realities of the world. And yeah, I ended up going to this tantric fucking sex thing. I remember one of my mates, he was down there as well in France, and he said he was shagging like a 45-year-old, absolute cougar. And I went and got a tantric massage. I was like, yes, we're pretty much bottom of the barrel at the moment, aren't we, mate? But anyway, it is what it is. And then one other time when I had health problems, I did go and just pay a hooker once, to be fair. Which I was about to have an operation and shit. I was like, I might literally never be able to fuck again. If you watch my video today, I explain it. So I don't have any issues with myself there either. It's not a habit. I don't think I've done it since then. But yeah, guys who go pay for play, the temptation. You know what? I'll be honest, yeah. I understand it. If you can't get your shit together, like it might actually do you good. It might do you good. Like not every month, but like once every 6 months. Like if you haven't been laid for 6 months, just as you're improving your life ecosystem and as you're actually, improving everything, just go and get your dick sucked by a whore. It's probably a good thing to do, I actually don't have an issue with it. This is why getting the ball rolling is really is so important. This is why it can be good just to pull like a munter, or pull like a girl who's less attractive, because it gets the ball rolling. Yeah. And this is the thing, is getting women is a physical animalistic process. Yeah, you grab them, you pull them up to you and stuff like that. If you're not doing that, if you haven't done that for a long time, you fucking just need to do it with somebody. It doesn't matter if the girl's like super fit or not. That's the way I look at it anyway. That's been my experience though. That's actually been my experience. It's a thick book. You haven't finished it? Yeah, it does, mate. I tell you what, I've been disciplined though, mate. It's a bastard to read. It's a bastard to read, but it's worth it, man. It's worth it. And I think because of the low attention economy we're in now, spending time really delving into something which is a masterpiece, I think it's worth it. So I've got one more chapter to go, and then yeah, I may well throw it in the river afterwards, to be honest with you. But yeah, in terms of like escorts and stuff like that, I don't have too much of an issue with guys. Just get the ball rolling, man. Just get the ball rolling, and the girls like, it's good for them. Like especially if the girl's like a 6 and you're like maybe you're a decent fucking guy, you could get a 9 or 10. Like she's banged a 6. Like she's winning, dude. She's fucking won. Yeah, don't stay with her, but like she's won on that one, so she should be fucking grateful. Yeah, and a lot of the guys I know who do well, honestly, a lot of the guys I know who do well, they will basically shag anything. It's kind of an unspoken thing, but like they will. One of my like most interesting friends, who's a rock star. I've never seen it. The word goat, like a horny goat, this guy is horny goat weed personified, right? He will fuck anything that moves. He will fuck anything that moves, dude. Like, but he will legitimately bang really fit girls because he's always on all the time. He just wants to and he watches porn. He doesn't do nofap. He's a demon. Yeah, he's 46. He's an absolute demon. He's currently living in the Caribbean with a Russian older woman who's just paying for his life. I periodically, I always have to block him because he'll start sending me some. He's one of these conspiracy theorists, but like he goes way too far with it. Like, and then he starts sending me all this like he just starts sending me way too much stuff. I always end up blocking him, deleting him and stuff. But he's a pirate. He's a fellow pirate. I know I'll see him again in Latin America. I know I will. I'll see him in the Caribbean again in the future. Um, so yeah, a bit of pay for play, a bit of just pulling a munter is fine. And that guy, like, he's had fucking group sex. He's this guy's done everything, dude. Like, and I know it's true as well. I've seen it. I've seen him in real life pulling, and it's like nothing I've ever seen. Even like me, Christian Ephraim, I've never seen anybody like this guy. This guy is something else. Like, he really does need to be seen to be believed, actually. And the biggest thing about him is his sense of arrogance and entitlement. That's the biggest thing about him. That's the biggest thing about him. So I would recommend everyone does that. Get a lot more arrogant, actually. This is a thing to think about. Is you got to think to yourself, you've already banged her before you've actually banged her. Approach her with that, like you know her for a long time, you've already banged her, and you're kind of just teasing her or something. That's kind of how that's how my best approaches go. But this guy's on some next level arrogance, man. But it works, dude. It works. So RJ Flores, I would definitely say that small towns are not great. He lives in Cheltenham. Social pressure is way higher than London. Yeah. I mean, social pressure, I agree with you. I agree with you. Social pressure is perceived. It's perceived, but it's based on your perception of the surroundings. So I bet RJ, I bet if you and me went down to Cheltenham just together, me and you, we hit it, we wouldn't fucking feel any social pressure. We'd rip it to pieces. But when you're solo, yeah, solo is where it's harder. Solo is where it's harder. Small towns for cold approach just isn't the thing to do. Just not the thing to do. Yeah. Yeah, small town in Bosnia, I would probably agree with you, mate. Yeah. I thought Sarajevo was decent, though. Um, I've got great memories of Bosnia. Like, I miss it, to be honest. I love the Balkans, dude. It's weird because I'm a guy who likes Latino music. We might put some tunes on in a second. I'll get some samba on. I love all that. But there's something about the soul in the Balkans that I just love. And I think it's also the fact I feel like I've discovered. I know everyone knows about the Balkans, but there's not that many people coming out here, man. Not from my country. So I feel like I've discovered a little secret place that no one else knows about. Very few people do. There's not many Brits in Macedonia, bro. There's a few, but there's not many. We are in an extreme minority. Same with about Bosnia, dude. Same with Bosnia. So definitely Lukovica. There was nobody out there. So yeah, but I do love this part of the world. I could spend 2 3 years here, no problem. I literally I know that I could. I know that I could. And even when I go back to Latin America, I know I'll come back here. It just be maybe a year or two down the line. I know that I will. I'm more fond of this part of the world by far than I am of the UK. Not even comparable. Not even comparable. I really enjoy it here. Um, and yeah, the approach and stuff. I don't judge a place's quality based on how easy it is. Yeah. I don't judge a place's quality based on how easy it is to get laid. That's fucking bullshit. Like if I was judging it on that quality, like UK is pretty good. It's not that difficult. It's not that. It's all right. It's not too bad. Um, there's some places I go where you can get laid with a cheap prostitute super easy, but the actual local girls, they're horny and stuff, but they want boyfriends, man. They're not dating just to fuck. They want boyfriends. Um, yeah, and then like say like Macedonia, like I've not been on a date in Macedonia. Um, I've got a lot of. I'm in this weird spot right now where I'm doing approach as a sport. I'm doing cold approach as a sport to get better at getting numbers. How fucking weird is that? But I'm not even following up. I'm not even following up. I got two numbers last week, and I'm not even following up. Not even bothered. Um, they don't quite do it for me viscerally yet. The girls in Macedonia, I've seen a few, but they haven't quite had that visceral attraction that I get with Latinas and a few of the girls in Serbia. Um, when you get negative beliefs about yourself, okay, some great comments. This is why I love these lives because the comments are fucking amazing. So Wild Pete's language barrier, not really, mate, because in most places they speak English. And if they don't, that's when I get to crack out my abysmal Serbo-Croat. Ne govorim srpski. Ti si prelapa. Yeah, good to go real old school Balkan, newcomer. But in general, they speak English. The English is very good in general out here. So RJ, when you get negative beliefs, you can weirdly think that women already know your stories and failures. Yeah, weird. It's like a form of solipsism, isn't it? That you think everyone is in your brain and stuff, and you just don't differentiate. Yeah, if your son didn't live in the UK, he'd have left already. All right, I'm going to address a couple of things here, RJ. So the negative beliefs, bruv. That's one that's more important. Fuck cold approach, mate. Fuck cold approach. That's something you need to address in of yourself, regardless of like negative beliefs, man. People are way too hard on themselves. Like we all do this, but there's been hard on yourself, and then there's been negative on yourself. I think that's negative is too far. Negative is too far. That's instilled probably from somebody else. It's a load of bullshit, man. It's a load of bullshit. You want to actually embrace. This is what I did that got me success in clubs, and I am talking from experience because I had success, right? And I progressively went in this direction. And when I got to a certain point, is when it went fucking nuts. I started off. This is word for word what one of my friends said about my approach. He's like, mate, you started off on a little rickshaw, like a rickshaw, just pushing along the little engine that could, going along the train tracks. And he goes, now you're like Magneto. You're building the track yourself. You're going onto the track. You're flying above the track. That's what my mate said about my approach. That's not me. That's what my mate said about it. That's what he said about it because he's watched my progress. And what the biggest shift for me, which was like when I went from, I can do bits and pieces, but it's fucking annoying. The biggest shift for me was when I became a total fucking narcissist. Within like a controlled narcissist, if that makes sense. Not like I've got a personality disorder and I don't care about people, no. But in my presentation of myself was just sickeningly narcissistic. To the point like the girls would joke I had a personality disorder or something, but they knew it was a bit of banter. I've been on dates where the girls said things along these lines, where it's like, yeah, they still fuck me. Do you know what I mean? They still fuck me because I backed myself to an unbelievable level. And then they would back me as well. Exactly. Not nice. I think there's too much. This is it. There's too much. See, I'm using language. Thanks, SB. I'm using language, which I've absorbed from the culture. It's like, it's not narcissistic. It's self-love. Narcissism is actually a serious pathology, right? If you're a narcissist, that means you basically, you have a very low sense of self-esteem, and you constantly need to reassure yourself, and you need to get admiration, and you need all that type of thing. That narcissism is really pathological. It basically means you've got nothing inside you. You have no actual person. Watch Sam Vaknin there. We've looked about this, right? But healthy self-love, that's just confidence, isn't it? It's like Jude Bellingham. He's not a narcissist, the footballer, but like he's just going out banging his chest, like, I'm the absolute business. And the thing is, there are guys who are absolute dickheads who act like that, and they're fully entitled to. So we as solid guys, we should do. It's our responsibility to. We actually have a responsibility to. Otherwise, the girls aren't going to have us as an option. They're only going to have, like, their biology and mentality is going to respond to this dickhead over here. If we were just more self-confident, we give them another option. So it's actually like, it's weirdly selfless, actually. So banning a critic, you challenge it. Yeah, I would go not even challenging, bruv. Overpower it with self-love and narcissism. Overpower it with total narcissism, constant narcissism. Just try it, man. Try it in your sets. Another thing you can do as well is think about things that you love. Think about things that you love, so you're not thinking about yourself. Because I think there's a lot of, I know in the entourage, there's quite a few guys who are single single children, like they, parents and stuff, they're just a one child, right? I know that's the case with Christian. I know it's the case with a few of the guys. And in general, people who are just one child, they are generally they're just more self-absorbed. They just think about themselves more. I find it quite, in a sense, it can be informative because as someone who doesn't do that as much as they would, it's interesting to listen to. Like, oh, this, it's like you're so intensely focused on yourself that it's like it can be good though because it can drive you to success. Um, Whereas someone who's had siblings, like you've always had to look out for each other, and you've got all these other things. You got to look out for other people constantly. So inbuilt into your psychology is the presence of other people. So you're not worried so much about yourself all the time. But maybe the flip side of that is you don't worry. You should be more concerned with yourself. So there's maybe pros and cons to it. But I think thinking about other people can be good as well. Thinking about other people. Um, Jude Bellingham, yeah, exactly. For me, he epitomizes like just pure nature, like pure self-confident, bold nature. I think he's absolutely superb. Yeah. And like the press are going to turn on him and stuff because he's not very English, is he? It's not very English to be as confident and cocky as him. But I love guys like that. I think Birmingham guys are quite good, in that respect. Like they're some of the most confident guys in the UK, if not the most. Birmingham. Yeah. They're really fucking confident. I don't know why that is, but they just are. And at the end of the day, we are the only people who decide our level of self-esteem. Nobody else decides it. Nobody else decides what I'm worth. I decide what I'm worth. No one else decides what you're worth. No one else can decide that. You can tell me this, that, and the other, what you would do, if I believe I'm an absolute fucking business, then I'll go and deliver that. And if you believe you're the absolute worst person on planet Earth, then that's what you'll deliver. Richie, bruv. Oh, this is not the end, bruv. No, I'm trying to hack the algorithm here. I'm going on for a long time. I'm going to take this as long as I can. So we've got Richie in the building. Richie is an entourage beast. We've got some good characters in here at the moment. Yeah. So Richie was actually the inspiration for this live because we've been talking tonight about Richie. I'm just gonna sing your praises here, mate. We've got some animals in the entourage, right? So Richie came into the entourage. I met Richie for the first time online about 7 months ago. I remember exactly where I was. I was in a cafe in a tropical destination. Richie was in London, and he came on his very first meeting. I think he basically offered to do us a session on tailoring, session on like. So he came in straight away, gave loads of value to the group, and I was like, this guy is really interesting because I can tell he's got a very generous energy to him, but I can tell he comes across as very, very nervous, but in a way which is like almost subliminal or something, because you were speaking super fast, Richie, like crazy fast. Like I talk quite fast sometimes, but you were talking crazy fast and talking a lot as well. I was like, okay, I can already see where this guy's problems are. That's fine. That's why he's here, because he's trying to sort that out. If he's going into sets talking like this, that's going to be an issue for him. So Richie's been going out plying his trade for the last 6-7 months. I met up with him in Manchester. We did some sessions out there. We did some Poundland approaches out there. Could see his approach coming on. Could see it coming on. It was still going side on in a little bit in his approaches. Wasn't fully committed to them, but he was hitting it harder and harder. I think you must have done about 20 approaches a day in Manchester. I think you were doing maybe more, maybe about 25, which is a lot. And like by the end, you were starting to feel yourself. I always remember we both closed in front. Christian was speaking to some guy who recognized him. And then we both went off and just closed a couple of chicks like in different directions. Fucking Manchester's awesome. But Richie's been plying his trade. He's been grinding it. He's been grinding it. And recently, in the last few months, he's hit a new level. He's completely hit a new level. He's gone from like banging like grandmas and like, or just been totally unsatisfied with his personal life, despite all of his professional success, which is kind of crazy. But he's completely turned a corner, and he's now sending us pictures. I won't say from which location, but a well-known location for babes. And he's sending us pictures, and it's fucking demented. And he's also banged his first absolute, like literally like global. If I said she was a global 9, that's being very critical. Some people would say she was a 10, but she's fucking ridiculous, right? And it's just going to be more to come. So Richie's transformation, I've actually literally watched it in the flesh, and it's ongoing. Give it now. He's changed up his look. He's got a beard and shit going on now. Give us another 12 months with Richie. It's going to be sick. It's actually going to be sick. He's literally going to be just chilling with a cigar with like a harem handcuffed around him. So yeah, he's let's have a look. Yeah. So Richie, I just sing Richie's praises because it's interesting as well seeing guys like I think you said a few things to me, Richie. You said one of the worst things anyone has ever said about approach or clubs and stuff like that was actually what you said in Manchester. You said to me, I'll share it on the live because you're not the same person. You've progressed miles from this mindset, but you were doing loads of approaches. And one of the points you said, yeah, but this is not getting my dick wet, is it? And I just remember thinking, I was like, I didn't say anything at the time, but I was like, bruv, your approaches aren't getting their pussy wet, bruv. You need to work on these approaches a bit more. They need to get a bit more, a bit more lion-like, They were still side on. They were still kind of semi-timid. And so he was frustrated that he wasn't getting the results. But I remember thinking, I was like, man, I actually can't imagine thinking like that. Because in my mind, I'm just like, it's on me. If I don't get her wet, if I don't get her horny, it's on me. Yeah. She doesn't owe me shit just because I talk to her. Obviously, Richie's learning the game. He realizes the streets, this is how things work. But it's a lot, man. When you come into it and you don't know anything, you probably think, yeah, if I just do 100 approaches, I'll probably get laid. Yeah, you might, but you might have to do 500, bruv. And or you might do 500, and then all of a sudden you get laid 5 times in a week. It just doesn't make any sense. And now we did a virtual wingman session the other week, and I'm just watching his banter. It's killing me in set. It's hilarious. So yeah, Richie, I can't wait to see the rest of your progress, mate. Does rejection affect you at this point? That's a good question, bruv. Does rejection affect me? I thought about this. How many times have I been rejected? It's hilarious. How many times have I been rejected by girls I ended up banging, and girls who fell violently in love with me, wildly in love with me? So this is a thing we have in the entourage. It's like, it's either fuck yes or fuck no. Fair enough. I get that. With cold approach, we don't have time for bullshit. But it is actually true that girls can fall for you over a period of time. It's like waitresses and stuff and places I go to on a regular basis where I'd see them every week, and they might reject me at first, or we go on a little date and then it's kind of like, oh, whatever. And then they see me around again and they end up falling in love with me. And how does a girl end up falling in love with you? You get in her bedroom. That's where she'll fall in love with you. You get in their bedroom, just give her a battering, for want of a better word, a few times, and be cool about it, be normal, she'll probably fall in love with you. Yeah, or just be normal for 3 months. You're not going to get, a girl's not going to fall in love with you because you got good game. She's not going to fall in love with you because your approach was good, because you can get 1,000 girls' numbers. No, it's got to go way deeper than that. She's got to invest in you. You've got to take her to places mentally, physically, she's not been to. That doesn't mean you have to be some kind of a sexual super athlete, but what it means is you have to push her. Yeah. So like, let's say she's never done it doggy style. Okay, that'd be weird. But let's just say she hadn't. You have to do that to her. You got to do stuff to her. You do a bit of BDSM if she's never done that before. What happens if she's already done all of this shit before? Then actually it's the opposite. What happens if she's been she's a complete nympho? Then what you do, you still give her something she's not had before, which is kind of like You give her everything, but then you kind of maybe more cool, because a lot of guys will lose their head over a girl like that. Yeah. So it's the way in my experience, the way these girls fall for you is when you're giving something they cannot get anywhere else. Yeah. You're giving something they cannot get anywhere else. They can get money from other guys. There's guys who got, money. They can get good looking guys somewhere else. Yeah. But all these things, they're good, but they're not that unique. If you can actually give her unique experiences, sexual, mental, emotional, you give her something unique, yeah, and you hold yourself, whereas you have this is the energy that I've had with girls who fall in love with me. It's like, please leave me. Like, if you leave, I'm throwing a party. Yeah, they won't. If they know that is actually the truth, they'll never fucking leave you. They'll fight to be with you. I'm actually dropping some stuff here. Because it's not just about approach and getting laid. This is the other stuff as well off the back of it. This is the other stuff off the back of it as well. Yeah, not enough is talked about in terms of sexuality. You need to have some sexual deviancy in you to get these girls to fall in love with you. And even that doesn't necessarily mean that, like for example, that doesn't mean that they will fall in love with you, but it's much more likely, right? Because biochemically, they've got a chemical in their brain called it's estrogen, but it's something else. They call it the hug chemical, like the love chemical. What's it called again? No, it'll come back to me. There's a hormone that they've got, and they've got it in about 10 times the amount we have, and it's released after sex for them about 10 times as much as it is for us. We do release it, but for us it's released way less after sex. For women, it's released after sex. Yeah. I forget this is going to annoy me. Maybe I should get my other phone. I'll look it up. And so when you're going through a girl regularly, you're giving it her regularly, let's say 10 sessions, 20 sessions, dude, she's had so much of this chemical in her brain, like, she's going to have feelings. It's biochemical, man. It's biochemical. Let's have a look here. I bet you I'll remember it just as it's about to come up. Hug chemical. What's it called? Oxytocin. It's released way more in women after sex than it is with us. So there you go. That's how you keep your girl around. So yeah, so for Richie's situation is like he had this great girl, but he kind of lost her. I know what your situation is. You talk too much when you're dating this girl. Save your conversation. Save it for the boys. Yeah, just talk less. Take her through the process, and hold back, man. Hold back. This girl's not your therapist. Hold back. And when you get a chance to fucking smash her in half in the bedroom, do that. You get that going for like a while, and they'll fall for you, dude. They'll fall for you. Like, it's just a matter of time. But to go back to Wild Peaks' question, does rejection affect you at this point? Yes, it does. Yes, it does. I wish I could say that it doesn't, but yes, it does. Yes, it does. Let me tell you how it affects me, because it's weird. There's times when when I'm with people, does it fuck? I don't give a fucking monkeys when I'm with other people. When I'm solo doing sessions, it affects me a little bit more. You feel more denuded. For me anyway, it does affect me a little bit more. But what happens is this. I get like a 30-second little buzz. It's only certain rejections as well. There's only certain rejections that this happens where I get a 37 little buzz where I'm really pissed off for like 30 seconds. Like, there's like a little child inside me, like throwing its toys out in the pram. And then after that, then I get a little buzz of like excitement. I'll walk away and stuff. And then I get a buzz. And that buzz is actually better than the buzz I get when I've got a number. It's actually better. Why that fucking is, I don't know. I couldn't even speculate. But that's usually those rejections that piss me off like that. It's normally when I feel like I've been slightly unfairly treated by the girl, Those are the rejections that actually get to me. In a sense where I'm treated like I'm a squirming fucking snail or like I'm a rapist or something, when I've actually gone over and I've done a fair compliment. And for some reason, in the heat of the moment, obviously I don't show anything. I don't break down or anything. I just kind of be like, cool. But internally, I'm fucking annoyed. Yeah, which is a bad reaction on my part. It's a bad reaction on my part. It shows I've still got work to do. I always remember a girl in Belgrade who I approached, like she was kind of like near a crossing. I thought, well, she's near a crossing. This is a bold approach. And she just looked at me with like such like she was so afraid, disgusted all at the same time. And I remember I walked away from that and I was really like, oh fuck cold approach, man. Um, she was Greek actually, and this weird detail, but I always remember that one. And then I remember one in Latin America as well, of an extremely rude girl that I approached in front of her like friends and stuff. She was so fucking rude to me. So that pissed me off because then I can't then curse her out. Part of me wants to curse her out, but I can't because I'm the one who's gone over to her. But as a general rule, honestly, like I don't even see them as rejections so much, to be honest now. It's just a warm up. It's just the fucking warm. What's a rejection? What's the rejection? I found the girls in the Balkans to be very, very civilized. Like, in general, I'd say maybe the Bosnian ones could be those type who they almost want to make you feel bad for approaching them or something. Like they've got a certain disdain towards you. But compared to some girls in other places, it's not that bad. And again, that I can weather it. I can weather it. That's fine. I can weather it. So that's a bit of a labored point, but I wanted to give you really details on, do I still feel rejection? Um, it's not that big a deal, man. I'm just extending an offer, and if they don't take it, they don't fucking take it. It's part of the game. It's part of the game. It's part of the game. It's built in. So yeah. And I actually do take those warm-ups. Like I think when I was with SB, I think when he went to the bathroom, I actually opened a table that was next to us because I thought, wow, let's just do a little open on this table. And I was talking about their fur coats and stuff. And one of them, the one I was actually complimenting, she looked really disdainfully at me. The other girls were actually like, well, they responded quite well. And it was just quite funny. But we were inside a cafe and stuff. Um, so that was one of those where they respond a bit disdainfully. But then we went straight out into the street and then we met two absolutely like fucking great girls, like straight away in the street. So that one there, that little thing I did in the cafe, and this has happened to me 1,000 times, that actually set me up for the next one. That set me up for the next one. So those little bad moments, they actually set you up for the next one. And what I found like to be the case when I do a big session, if I do like if I'm really get to that point, I've done like 10 approaches, whoever gets number 11 is getting a demon. Because like I remember like this is back in last year. I remember like one session, a few numbers and stuff, but nothing really amazing. And I remember like the ninth and 10th approaches went really shit. And the last one, I tried to stop a girl coming out of a supermarket or a shop or something. She just wasn't interested at all. And I just genuinely found it hilarious. Then I got into the city center again where I lived, and I literally felt like Hercules because I'd done this big session. And I literally stopped a girl on a bicycle, a 6 foot girl. Yeah, I'm not a tall guy. 6 foot girl on a bicycle, stopped her, chatted her up, went to the supermarket with her, got a bottle of wine, went to the park, got some guys in the park to put some music on that I want them to put on, started grinding this girl up in the middle of the park. She's fucking over here, right? Then take her back to mine at the end of a session. It was completely fucking crazy because I was on this crazy state and I was just like coming in like King Kong. So those rejections actually helped me. So that's a big part of the game, man. If you can realize those rejections are completely necessary and they're actually going to help you, man, you'll be unstoppable. You'll be unstoppable. But you're Italian, so you already know that. Going to talk to the matchmaker tomorrow. 35 first day, 20. Yeah, exactly. 35 first day. So Richie's numbers are demented. Richie's numbers are completely demented. No, Richie's numbers are off the charts. Like they're off the charts. I've heard that there's another guy, Iceman, in the group who puts up similar numbers. I cannot put up 35. I can't do it. But what I will say is when I do go in, I fucking mean it. I mean it. I'm going in, I'm dropping bombs when I go in. So if I'm in, I'm really fucking in. That's kind of how I do it. So for me, 10 of those, fucking hell, that's a lot. Yeah. Yeah, Gill shakes. Great, we've got some banter here. Bobby, Memi, where are you from, Bobs? Where are you from, Bobs? 22. Yeah, it was great banter going up here. Yeah. So SB and Richie, like you guys should get on. SB is a Bosnian guy. He's had very interesting experiences in life. Lived over in Asia. Now he's in Lapland. He's working out in Lapland for the winter season. Richie is a bratva from the old country, who is somehow evaded the Iron Curtain and made his way over to Europe through Holland. And now he's got to the UK and he's just fucking making his way up. Ended up getting more results at night than day when I was doing daytime, but I wouldn't have got the results at night without the momentum from daytime cold approach. 1,000,000%, dude. 1,000,000%. 1,000,000%. That's exactly it. Daytime approach, really, the way I do it and the way I advocate it, which I did at the beginning of this stream, is balls maxing, as Richie says. It's a way to get your self-confidence up, where you just feel you're entitled to go over to the girl, because why the fuck not? Why not? And the more you do it, the more you feel entitled to it. And then you go out at night and it's like, well, yeah, of course I'll chat to the girl. And you see other people at night and you're like, why would you be nervous in here? Like, I've just been doing it in the Tesco. Yeah, we're in a club. You find to approach. So yeah, I agree. Cold approach definitely can get you everything you need. But if you're doing it combining with nighttime, especially early on, now actually I've become such a daytime nerd that I'm just like at night. At the moment I'm not even going out at night. I mean, I'm solo here at Skopje, and if I go out at night, it's just to go to my local bar and read Bridge on the Drina. That's what I'll do on a Monday and Tuesday. Just go out for a couple of hours, sit, have some peanuts and a fucking cup of tea, and read. Matchmaker offer me some Oxbridge fucking 40 to 40 year old. Fuck that, dude. Oh my god. My dick actually started to invert when I read that. Like I'm hiring a bloody workforce, exactly. Yeah, cash status and stuff from a different realm of life. Yes, oxytocin, yeah. Yeah, no, oxytocin, bro. We all have it, but women release it after sex much more than men do. Richie simp too much. Yeah, it's universal now, bruv. Trust me. Look into the science on it. Women release more oxytocin after sex than men. Which location in Europe would you suggest in this winter time? I'm in Skopje, North Macedonia right now. It's fucking great. It's one thing actually I've noticed this time around. It's a lot more polluted than I realized. When I was here last time in March, I didn't notice any pollution at all. None. And I've noticed it a lot more. It's very polluted, which is a shame. I still think I'm going to stay another month. I was going to go to Albania, but I just can't be fucked to move house. So I'm going to try and stay here for another month. Yeah. Yeah, so days when it... So location in Europe, would you suggest? Winter. I think winter in Europe, you just got to get through it. I actually love the fucking snow and stuff, though, because I was away last year. I love coming back to the snow. I loved, like, being in the snow here. Like, I'm even thinking of going to... This is how I roll. I don't know where I'm going to be living in 10 days' time. I'm even thinking of going to Bucharest in the hope that it snows. But I'll probably end up staying in Skopje. So Richie, some days when it affects me, some days it's no big deal. It's very personal. Yeah. Yeah, I mean, Richie, just an animal. We're all human. I've got pissed off, had a feeling of resentment when I've been rejected, but rarely do something back. If they're rude, you just walk off. That's exactly what we've all got to do that. Because at the end of the day, if we're going over to approach and then they're dicks to us, hey, it is what it is. There's no such thing as a good or bad location as long as there's traffic. Yeah, well, that means there is a good and a bad location, to be fair. You've got to have traffic. You've got to have the traffic. You've got to have the traffic. Yeah. Otherwise, it is a little bit. You know what's weird though? This is weird as well. When I was in Belgrade, if I found a girl solo on a street, I felt way more relaxed approaching because I was just like, it's just me and her. And I could just approach her. Was nobody around. So that's interesting as well. Yeah, that one of my best approaches as a girl, I was like, I was like truly like love at first sight. It was obviously, you know, that's obviously bullshit, but this girl's energy was crazy. I can get a read on a girl's energy fast because of all of the approaches I've done. Our energy was nuts together straight away. And she was solo on the street, and I felt way more relaxed because of that. Her body was crazy, dude. Some of these just fucking so good. Bob's, you're from Birmingham, bruv. Oh, nice, nice. Um, Bobby, give us some more details about what you're doing. Just give us some details. Are you doing cold approach? Are you improving your social life? Are you getting in the gym? Are you studying? Are you working? Give us some details, bro. London, you don't do high volumes. Yeah, just go out and just do 15. Just do 19. Yeah, in London. Yeah, keep it low volume. Do 19 in an hour. RJ Flores, you must have seen super good looking guys who really struggle and probably think the SMV is much lower than it actually is. 1,000,000,000%, bruv. And this is why this whole SMV stuff is autistic garbage. As guy in the entourage, we go back and forth on this. It's garbage, mate. The reason I know this, I'm talking from experience, yeah? I'm not fitter now than I was at 25, yeah? I'm fucking bald, yeah? I'm not fitter now than I was at 25. It's not even comparable, the ass I'm getting now. Not even comparable. And I don't even have more money now than I had at 25. Yeah, I'm basically the same. So just a bit older and bolder, yeah? But more experienced, more confident, more worldly. Yeah, that's the difference. I've got other friends who are not good looking, who have got personality, who've got charm, which is severely lacking in some people. Yeah, they go through chicks like you wouldn't believe. Yeah, that's not to say that like good looking guys can't do well. Obviously they can. Yeah, but good looking and confident, sure. Yeah, you're gonna do well if you're good looking and confident. Yeah. But there's way more good looking girls than there are good looking guys. Way more. It's not even comparable. Yeah. Guys, like, it's quite rare to be even fairly good looking is quite rare. There's way more good looking girls than good looking guys. So yeah, that's a really good point. Guys, I mean, I remember this when I was like 19, 20, going on lads' holidays. I looked at photos of myself then. I was like, man, I look like a fucking member of a boy band or something. I look really fucking good. And me and a mate, I remember we went out and we got destroyed. We got destroyed, man. Absolutely got our asses fucking handed to us. No clue. The bitches were like, the girls were very bitchy, to be fair. They were very like unpleasant girls, to be honest. They were common, chavvy English girls in these nights out. And but we still got destroyed anyway. You know, we still should have done better than we did. And I remember going to the bathroom, and I thought to myself, I was like, man, I'm fucking hideously ugly. Yeah. I remember going to the bathroom and actually being really shocked at what I saw in the mirror. I was like, what? He is getting destroyed like this? Like, I look fucking good, man. This is when I was following David Beckham fashion style and all this type of shit. That probably didn't help me, but everything was good. The fashion was good. The hair was fucking good. I've got some photos of my old hairstyle. And my friend, he said to me, we were walking home and he goes, you know, it's weird. Like, I went into the bathroom and I looked at myself and I was expecting to see a proper ugly bastard looking back at me. And then I was looking at myself, I was like, fucking hell, you're good looking. And I was like, yeah, dude, I felt exactly the same. I was like, I thought I was like a fucking horrific, like Quasimodo or something, because the treatment I'm getting for these girls is heinous, yeah? So yeah, exactly. That's your point, RJ, is absolutely spot on. Brad Pitt, when he first went to Hollywood, Brad Pitt said in an interview, 21, he said he couldn't get laid to save his life. Brad Pitt, yeah? He was 21. He could not get laid to save his life. Brad Pitt, yeah? Like, the Ubermensch himself couldn't get laid. Yeah, and he admitted that as well. Like, why would he say that? Yeah. So yeah, it's all about confidence. This is Richie said this as well. Like has Richie changed? Did you change your looks between when you were with that bad ski and when you were just still basically not doing very well at all? Or like, let's say like before we even met you, when you were just like almost like going for grannies. Did your looks get better, at 38 than they were at 33? No. I mean, maybe a little bit, but basically the same. Yeah. The difference is you're going from 0 to like a fucking 10. Yeah. Like the difference is your balls and your approach. So this is what guys need to know. There's levels to this. The guys who are in the approach community are in a sense unfortunate in the sense that they think guys in the approach community are actually good with women. Most of them aren't. Most of them are actually fucking shit. Most of the people you see online, I would say about 80% of them are quite shit. The best people are just guys who never will do lives, who will never even talk about it. This is why I don't put myself that high, because I've got mates who I know who don't even know what approach is, who are monsters. Yeah, and I watch them more than I watch anyone else. I'm like, oh, interesting. Yeah. So I just put myself as mid-level, man. Mid-level, I can do it, I'll do it. But, there's a bias towards like, what we see on the internet. And actually the best guys, you've never seen them because they don't even know approach is a thing. They don't even know it's a thing. RJ, I don't go to clubs now. My late 30s, music gears, not nightclubs. Yeah, I've not been for a while, bruv. I can't be asked. I will. It's since I started to transfer over to day game at 37. I'll go now and then. I like to take my girlfriend to clubs and stuff. That's what I like to do now. Snow and cold don't matter as long as you dress warm. I disagree. I disagree badly on this one, mate. If I'm not comfortable, then why am I approaching? To me, I'll just give you, this is my brutal feedback on this. If I'm doing anything that's too uncomfortable to approach, that's very low status in my opinion. Because that basically says I'm so desperate, I'll go out in the rain, pissing rain to approach. There is something to that, to like our determination, our sick, perverted, twisted minds. But I also think you've got to be careful because I think that can lower your own value in your own eyes. For me personally, I want to be comfortable. I'll go to a mall. I just go to a mall. But yeah, we might differ on this one because I think you're even grittier than me, Richie. I mean, I'm a gritty bastard, but you are even grittier than me. Snow and cold don't matter as long as you. Oh, sorry, I read that one. Oxytocin. Yeah. Yeah, bonding. Well, look into it, bro. Look into it. Yeah, women, bro. Do you seriously mean to tell me that women who you've been banging for 3 months don't get more attached to you than you do to them? Come on, bro. What world are we living in? What world are we living in? Good interactions outweigh the nasty ones. Yeah. Yeah, 100%. 100%. Most of the interactions are great. Bobby. Good. Yeah, building your physique. So you weren't getting the results you want to do because your life wasn't in order. You recently turned 22, building your career, building your physique. Yeah. Yeah. Brilliant. Brilliant, Bobby. Yeah. Mate, keep it up. Keep it up, mate. Keep it up. You're doing the right things. You're doing the right things. Keep getting your approach better. What would I suggest on your approach? It's hard to know without actually seeing you, but keep watching my channel. You'll have some infields coming up. I'll talk about approach. I did a video this week on, I think it was like a real breakdown. It's one of the ones I did this week. It's a real breakdown on how to do an effective approach, and it's on a technical breakdown. There's not that much, but you do need to do the basics. And if you don't, you kind of fucked yourself. But yeah, it's great you're doing all the right stuff, and just do your approaches now and then. You need to build a good social circle. Yeah, take it easy, mate. Take it easy. Get your social circle going on. Brilliant. Good to have you on, mate. Yeah, he'll get more women at 60 than he would at 21. Yeah, exactly. You want a harem of 6 girls, man. I just did a video on harems today, bro. Yeah, if you want that, man, you can have it, but fucking hell, get ready for the fucking chaos, dude. You keep it all within the community. Yeah, you semi-pulled in the snow, but you pretend you're on the way somewhere. Brilliant. There's a bias towards what we see on the internet. So true. Okay, fine. Yeah, I mean, look, we don't need to agree on everything. This is another point. We don't need to agree on everything, boys. But I think we agree on this anyway. But as a general principle, grown fucking men, we shouldn't even agree on everything. We should have different perspectives here and there. But there is a reality, which is like, if you're in touch with reality, it's not really that I think this or I think that. I'm just looking at going, well, that's reality. So I need to be the one who thinks about it and changes myself according to reality. This is one of the reasons harems don't really work. Because if you're banging a girl for 6 months, a year, 2 years, and you think, oh, she's just in my harem. No, bruv. She's biologically, biochemically bonded to you. Yeah. She's probably, her body is probably thinking she's already pregnant with you. Yeah. Because contraception is like, it's been around for that long. It's just a flash of an eye, like the brink of an eye. So this is one reason harems don't really work that well. Because it's just not real. It's just not real. Girl's just going to be chill. Yeah, you started this at 22. He was a total loser. See, I still think, Richie, I think we've got too much of this in the entourage, and I think Christian does it too much as well. Talking negatively about his former self. Why were you a loser? Why was Christian a loser when he was younger? I don't agree with him on this. Why were you a loser at 22? I think there was probably nothing wrong with you at 22. Yeah, you didn't get that much ass, fine. But you were coming across from Russia, you're coming across from Belgium, you're doing your best, you're starting up in life. We've got to be careful. I think even insulting our former self, there's too much of this, oh, I used to be this and now I'm this. No, I think being a bit more generous to our former selves is quite important, Socially nerdy. I've thought for a long time where I almost always think a man who has a disrespectful wife just isn't good. But yeah, okay, you're socially nerdy, but even then, dude, yeah, even then, okay, you were socially nerdy. Okay, well, you fucking got a great mind for engineering. You got a great mind for business. You're working hard. You were fucking doing shit that like most people aren't doing. I think even when we judge our former selves in a harsh way, so like Christian says he wasn't good looking and stuff and all this type of stuff. I looked at his old videos. It's like he looks exactly the same as a guy I knew from Derbyshire, who was like a pub. He owns pubs now. He's a bit older than, but he's younger than me, but older than Christian. You looked almost at the spit of this guy, right? Like a kind of hippie looking, long haired, but kind of a little bit of a raver, right? This guy got as much ass as anyone I've ever seen. He was fucking He was a monstrosity, this guy. And he looked exactly like Christian. Exactly the same. Exactly the same. Yeah. So I don't buy into this. Everyone was a loser and stuff like that. I just look at everyone. I'm like, no, you were probably pretty good. You just perceived yourself in a certain way. And perception is reality, I thought that for a long time. Yeah. So Elias got a disrespectful girlfriend. Yes and no. Yes and no. I do think even if you're giving the girl good sex, they'll still pull shit on you. You've got to be draconian, man, with these girls. Don't negotiate, man. I have an 80-20 rule. I don't negotiate on 80%, but then 20, maybe 30%, but definitely no more than 30. 20-30% I'll negotiate on, but 70-80% it's my way or the highway. And the 20 or 30, it's just to make them feel like they've got a say, to be honest with you. And that's just how it rolls. And it's like an evolutionary system because the girls who are not supposed to be with me, they just will drop out. And the girl who sticks around and she likes this system, she's the one I'm supposed to be with. She's the one I'm supposed to be with. But yeah, you can actually keep a girl with shit sex. Yeah, if you're arrogant enough, you actually can. You could probably keep her without even fucking her. Yeah, just fucking dildo her or something. You actually could, if you're enough of a G. You basically, it's just about your own perception of self. I judge myself on getting arse. Yeah, I mean, that's another thing. This is another problem. Is guys who judge themselves and other men based on how much pussy they get. that's a pedestalization of women. It's a pedestalization of women. There's way too much of that in our culture. Like all the red pill and all the pickup and all this stuff. Ultimately, this is one of the things. Ultimately, you're judging yourself on how many women you get. That's not a way to judge yourself. It's just not. It's a ridiculous way to judge yourself. You're setting up women as the ultimate judge if you do that. It's bullshit. It's bullshit. It's a weird paradox because it's like you want all of these things, but then at the same time, it's actually once you even get them as well, then that's almost like once you got them, you're like, well, I fought for this. This is it. This is it. These people are it. They're not even like, what are they? Just a fucking woman with a vagina. So that's actually a weird form of simping, which I think a lot of people are guilty of. And basically, the whole pickup community is guilty of that. This is why I've done videos on things like honor your ancestors, which nobody watches, but that's fine. That's my fault because I'm fucking still shit at YouTube. But I try to do videos on other things like Nietzsche or fucking Shakespeare or honoring your ancestors or hitting the gym or whatever it is. So it's a relationships channel, so I'm going to keep doing videos on relationships. But if you don't have that North Star, which is a pedestal above women, is pedestal above everything else, the women will take on too much importance. Pulling a 6-foot girl with all the young guys could listen to this story. All these fags on, dude, I'm like, prof, I am not a tall guy. This actually causes me, it's like a combination of laughter and rage, because it's like, I literally fucked a 6-foot girl last year who I met on a bicycle, yeah? And this annoys me. This annoys me because I hear it so much. It even starts to get into my head. And I'm like, hold on. I'd nailed that 6-foot girl on a bicycle last year. It's something the guy in the entourage said to me, actually. Guy who's got some mild autism. Bless him. He was like, I basically didn't go in for an approach because I was scared we're in a shopping centre. And I made the excuse, oh, she's too tall for me. But I made it very casually because I had actually fucked taller girls than me a few times before. And then he was trying to insist that I was insecure about my height. I was like, no, bruv, I'm genuinely not. Why would I be insecure about my height? Or I don't understand it. There's not some like insecure about what kind of faggot bullshit is this? You're insecure about your height. What kind of faggot bullshit is that? It's absolute garbage. Oh, you're insecure about your hair. Yeah, bruv. Balls. Nothing. It's fucking ridiculous. It's ridiculous. It's ridiculous. I'm insecure about this, that, and the other. Oh, you're insecure about you this, that, and the other. No, you're a pussy. That's what it is. Basically, that's all it is. And I was just being a pussy. Yeah. And Christian ripped me afterwards for it as well. I was just being a pussy. I've been a pussy, and I was quite knackered. It was the end of a 2-day rampage in Manchester. This was on my immersion. And then I went to the girl, got her number. Fine. So there you go. Got the tall girl's number. But the whole height thing fucks me off, dude. I've done days in Manchester where just to make a point, I'll only approach girls over 5'10", just to make a point. Yeah. Some of the girls who respond most positively to my approaches are like 6-foot fucking stunners. Yeah. The real tall girls, they actually don't give a shit about height. They don't care because like for them to be approached by a guy who's not tall, they actually like it because it gives them an option. Yeah, it gives them an option. And it's also a weird thing as well because like most guys who are not as tall as them, they're not going to have the balls to approach. So the fact I do approach, what that actually means is I've got not just the balls to approach in public, I've got the balls to approach a girl who's taller than me in public, which is to many people is perceived as weird. I don't care. That actually doubles the size of my balls, yeah? It's like when I go to the club and it's like it's a G club, yeah? And I go to the girl. This was my signature move. I promise you, this is my signature move. One of my main wings in the UK, he can vouch for this. I'll go to the G club. I will go and approach the tallest, hottest girl in front of all of the Gs, yeah? All of the black girls, yeah? In front of all of them. And that's my first approach in a club. And I'll do that just for my own sense of fucking arrogance. And then after that, it's like, well, I've already approached her. I'm not going to fucking do whatever I want now. So clubs is easy though. Clubs is easy. But all of this height stuff, it needs to go out the fucking window. Richie's got girls Richie's not a tall guy. He's the same as me, basically. Ephraim's not a tall guy. He's got girls taller than him. I've got girls taller than me. You know, so is Richie. It's a load of bullshit. It's a load of bullshit. Give the girl the option. Give the girl the option. You know, like it might make you stand out a little bit more if you're very tall, if you're 6'3" or something. But if your approach is shit, bruv, it's not gonna help that much, is it? You don't need to be 6'2" to be a sexy guy. All these fags are just making excuses because they're pussies. You can't approach. All these guys, I would invite all of them. Yeah, I know we shouldn't be doing these challenges. Christian doesn't approve of them. I will invite all of these alpha males on the internet. Come do a session with me, and we'll see who's got the bigger balls. Yeah, we'll see. Come do a session with me and Richie. We might get blown out of 50 sets. Yeah, but we'll do them. Yeah. So I'm pulling tall blondes now. I never heard anything about the hype from them. I only hear it online. Exactly. Gimp lords online. The thing is, though, when you absorb this stuff, I've started to absorb it a little bit. It started to give me doubts. And I'm like, wait, where's this come from? Oh, it's the online. So we've got to be careful about the bullshit we put into our minds. Ultimately, it's fear. Yeah, ultimately, it's fear. You as a male could be a great provider and survival option. Let's go back to like the Pliocene. Let's go back to caveman days. Yeah. The timid guy who's 6'3", or the absolute don who's a leader who's like fucking 5'7". Yeah, and the girl happens to be 6 foot. Well, her survival will be based on her getting with this guy. Yeah. That would be literally based on that. If she goes for the other guy who's passive, her children might get fucking eaten. Yeah. She wants to go for someone who's got the qualities. So yeah, how do I max my Tinder profile now? The alpha matchup, real men aren't concerned with the fact others hold. Yeah. Agree. You're brilliant. I'm 5'3" and proud of it. Yeah. Exactly, dude. Yeah, exactly. The G Club sounds kind of gay. I'll gladly compare pulls. Yeah, when I say G Club, it's code for black, mate. To be honest, I'm being polite. It's a black club. Yeah. So I'm going in as one of the very few white guys, and I'm going to where the actual gangsters, like criminals, are, and then I'm approaching the hottest, tallest girl in front of them. Yeah. So that's why I'm saying, well, balls maxing. Anyway, being on a dating site was a badge of shame. Yeah, we used to call them Tinderellas. Tinderellas. The whole Tinder thing. Tinderella. What else do we call them? The Tinder swindler. Yeah. It is what it is, bruv. It is what it is. It's still a loser way of doing things. Yeah. I said at the start of the live, I can accept it if you're putting in your approaches at the weekend, you're meeting girls out in the day, you're meeting girls in clubs, and in addition to that, you've also got a profile, which is a good profile. Just because there's some girls in other parts of the city, maybe I'll let you off. I found in Salvador de Bahia, I was approaching my ass off, and when I got the last week, I just went on Tinder. I wasn't on Tinder for 11 weeks, and just the last week I did, and I did regret not going on because there were girls in other parts of the city that I didn't even fucking know about, and actually, there's a big digital culture out there. So I did actually regret that. There was a couple of girls who were like, actually, this is actually an interesting girl. She's a nice girl. And they were, if anything, they were probably taking dating more seriously than the girls I was meeting in the daytime. So it depends a lot on different territories, I would say, different countries. But as a general principle, you cannot beat face to face. You'll never beat it. So yeah, but you got. It's not so important where you start off; it's where you go. To be honest, but I do feel like we're the old cavemen. You know, this is the way we want to do it. You know, this is the way Richie wants to do it. It's the way I want to do it. Doesn't the fact you have a dating channel put a lot of girls off you? I don't know. I don't know. I mean, I've only got 300 subscribers. It's not like I'm exactly, I don't know, fucking Andrew Tate or something. Do you think I go? Yeah, I mean, do you think I go out and say, "Oh, by the way, I'm Joseph. I've got a dating channel." Obviously, I don't. I mean, it's just not. It wouldn't even come up. I'm not a professional coach. I may be in the future. It's possible, but I'm not a professional coach. So I'm just sharing my expertise, advice, experiences. Yeah, I'm interested to know though if anyone's got any issues. I'm going to get off soon, but if anyone's got any issues that they're having, we'll do a little troubleshoot now. If anyone's genuinely got any issues that they're having in approach, let me know now. Or in relationships. The video I did on running a harem, I did that today. I put that one up today. What I realized about that whilst I was shooting that video was, again, it's not to show off, because there's guys who've got stratospherically more chicks than I've ever got, who've got like multiples of the chicks that I've got. And there's guys who've done this more than me. The difference is I can explain things better than them, and they wouldn't even do an explanation. And one of the things I did notice about having all those experiences with the fucking harems and stuff, like, minimum 2 girlfriends, a constant, always having 2 girlfriends, never been single, really. Even when I went to meet Christian, I wasn't single. I had 2 girlfriends when I met Christian. So all of that on a constant basis. And then sometimes 3 and 4, and then up to harem maximum being about 8. I think. I really can't remember, but they weren't all exclusive to me, obviously. It's like one of them was exclusive to me, or 1 or 2. The rest were just all birds. But what you do get there, it's like you're playing 10 games of chess at the same time. So actually, you are getting a crazy amount of experience. And that's what I've realized partly in the entourage, which is like, shit, guys are struggling with stuff. And I'm like, shit, I assume everyone knows it. But actually, no, because I can remember a point when I struggled with that. And then this, and this happened. Oh, great, this is what you do. So yeah, so that's where my confidence is starting to come from now. I'm actually realizing, like, yeah, all of that. You got there's guys who've never had a girlfriend, or there's guys who've had a couple girlfriends. You're running 2 girlfriends, 365 minimum for a decade. And I had a few single times, but not many. There was always somebody. Yeah. Well, how you do it, 8 girls at the same time, how you do it is, what you do is you have one bottom bitch, to use the pimp term, but you have one, your main girl. She's your girl. She's exclusive to you. You maybe have a second who's also exclusive to you. You maybe have a third, but maybe she has a boyfriend or something. But that's probably about, in my experience, that was as far as I could go. And then all the rest, I say it was a harem. No, they're rotating in. Like, they come and see me one night and then they fuck off. And then 6 weeks later, they come back in. Yeah, it's the old iceberg slim. So you have it's literally like planets orbiting. You have your one close planet, and then your second, and then maybe a third, but probably it's just going to be 2. I was most comfortable with 2. And then any orbiters that fly in and out, like meteors, they're coming in and out now and then. And that's how it works. The only benefit of this is just like, the benefit of this is like, it just gave me experience. So now the girl I was seeing last year, I might pick it up with her again next year. She said to me a few times, like, it's almost like you're psychic. And I'm like, yeah, it's because I'm experienced. I've been with all these things. I've had all these problems that I've created myself. I realized what the solution was. Years and years and multiple women. So now when I'm with my girl now, I'm in a good position. I can make it so she would wait for me for 10 years because the experience she's had. That's not showing off. That's just like, I'm nearly 40. I've been dating since I was 15, so 25 years of fuck ups. So now I'm actually all right, which when you put it in those terms, it's actually not very impressive that I'm so slow, but at least I've learned, and now I can share that with other people. Yeah, after cold approaching, you get pissed off when guys sit next to girls on the train, they just ignore each other. I get you. Yeah. I've also got a lot of sympathy though, because I've been that guy. I've been that guy, and in the UK, the environment is awful between the sexes. It's just awful. Um, there's a lot of the women who almost look offended when the guys make a move on them, and it's like, you have to just learn to ignore them. You just have to learn to ignore them. If guys would just literally ignore the responses of women while still respecting them, if that even makes any sense, but ignore the significance of them, they do a lot better. Um, you always feel happy when I see guys who start to approach at 30, late 20s, and who've never been on a date, they start succeeding having connection with women. Oh, it's amazing, dude. I mean, we've got a guy in the entourage who's young, to be fair, so he's within his rights to not be experienced, but he's gone from he's telling us a story yesterday. He's gone from being a virgin when I met him, I think, to now he's lost his virginity, to now he's doing more cold approach. Bruv, he approached a fucking Muslim girl in a Muslim cougar in a library, bruv, and he fucking took her home as well. Yeah, and he's gone from no experience with anything to that. It's fucking awesome. Obviously, Richie himself, the man himself, there was a guy who was 50 in the entourage. Um, yeah, your ability with women is not it's not a reflection of your caliber as a man, but it may be a reflection of some of your beliefs around women. It probably is. Some of your mentality around women. It's probably a reflection of that, but it's not an overall referendum on your character as a man at all. Some great men in history who were not great with women. That's fine. There were some absolute, Lotharios who were not the greatest of guys. But yeah, when you see a guy who's like solid all round and they just get their act together with women, I think it's a great thing. I think it's a great thing. That's what I'm here for. That's what I'm doing this channel. That's what I'm going to. Well, that's what we're going to see going forward. I'm going to be arranging some executive marriages at some point. I'm feeling that. I'm feeling that. Some 50-year-old, because I know it from my line of work. I know a lot of these execs, man. Some of these guys are lonely as fuck, and they've got everyone sucking their dicks in the office because they've been doing it for 30 years. They're the big G in the corporate company, but that dick has got no balls attached to it. Yeah, the balls have been sanded off by the corporate environment. They couldn't approach to save their lives, and it's almost like they're probably too arrogant to at this point as well. So that's a fucking weird one. But I think I could turn those guys around as well. You'd have to do a combination of maybe social circle improvement with some approach. I don't know if they would get to the streets. Why do you think the UK is so bad? I just don't think it's a great environment. I don't think there's enough polarization between the sexes. I think men have been taught to be ashamed of their natural impulses to chase women, spank them, degrade them sexually and love them and adore them and command them. So yeah, it's just not a good environment. I don't think the girls are just not that competitive either. They're just not competitive. Like, what am I in for? What am I in for? Why am I yeah. You don't even need to talk, bruv, to be honest. I mean, daytime you do need to talk a little bit. It's much more about how you're looking at the girl. Are you sexual enough to the girl? It's much more about that, dude. Does a girl like you, It's the language thing, yeah, it doesn't matter that much. Yeah. I mean, look, the UK, it's not a complete write-off. There are other countries that are worse. There's other countries that are much worse. But I want to see a renaissance of, men in the UK. I would love to see that. I think it is coming a little bit, but I don't know if it will extend to the fullest flowering of I don't know if it will extend into the realm of personal. I don't know if it will. Because we basically want to believe in equality in the UK. That's what it comes down to. We want to believe in equality so badly that we can't fucking accept what is staring us in the face, which is men and women are not fucking equal. And in my case, anyway, I don't think any women I've been with would ever want me to be their equal. Yeah, like they want me to be basically better than them, basically.
and they want to be their womanly version of better than me in their woman world. That's basically what it is. So it's a weird, like, it's not that you don't treat them as equal, you don't treat them properly. No, it's not that. It's just like we've fantasized this fucking realm of equality in the UK, where I just don't think it's fucking real. We're trying to do it in the West. We're addicted to this idea. It's polarization is the basis of healthy relationships. I think every woman deep down, for a guy she wants to be with, I think she actually wants to look up to him, basically. How would you like to see this renaissance start to flower? Well, it's got to come from them. If it could actually come from the men all just saying, okay, I'm gonna stop going on fucking Tinder. I'm gonna actually grab my balls and I'm gonna go over and start cold approaching. That would be one thing that men could actually do instead of going and actually approach Susie in the cafe. Maybe Susie gets approached 5 times on a Saturday afternoon. She goes, fucking hell, I must be getting fitter. Yeah. And then she starts to be around actual men again. Yeah. So I think cold approach could be part of it. It won't happen, but in a theoretical world, it could. The reason I know this because I've been in countries where there is a culture of cold approach and the women change. The women feel sexier. Yeah. And then they bat it off and stuff, but there's a little back and forth between the sexes. So that'll be one thing. There's a lot of other things though. I mean, I think, yeah, even like, for example, the fact that firearms are illegal in the UK. This is not a firearms thing, but I don't think that's good. I think you're basically surrendering your balls to the government at that point. But that's a more controversial one in Europe. But yeah, I think there's all sorts of things. Men apologizing for themselves. Women, they're all fucking depressed, aren't they? All these professional women. So, yeah. Class system, yeah. Oh, yeah. And the class system is just another complication. Yeah, exactly. It's another complication. No, cold approaching is not slang for talking. No. Mike, this is a daytime cold approach channel, bruv. If you don't know what that is, you're probably on the wrong channel, but I'll tell you what it is. Cold approach is where you go up to a woman in the daytime with a specific intent. So it's not just chatting, it's a specific intent. I mean, there is chatting, obviously, but you stop her and you say, hey, excuse me, you look incredible, blah, blah, blah. You stop her, you compliment her, and then you make a play for her romantically. So it's bold, bruv. It's bold. So that when we say cold approach, that's what we're saying. It's not just, hey, what's up? What you guys up to? It's not just that. So cold approach is more, it's more focused. So that's the difference between just chatting and actually just an approach. An approach has got some intent behind it. But it is a balance. It's definitely a balance. You can't be too It's like you're 80% focused, but then there's also banter as well. It's like 70% focus, but there's also banter as well. Yeah. If you're not familiar with it, I think it's a beautiful thing. In most countries, it's very normal, So you don't see it in the UK. You don't see that back and forth. You just see like a few builders shouting abusively at the women, and then all the normal guys fucking shitting themselves. That's what you see in the UK. But yeah, there's a lot of negativity about the UK. I'm not there. I'm in North Macedonia. I don't plan on going back. So I'm just enjoying the Balkans this year. Right. I think that is the end of this live. There's no cold approach in Naples or Buenos Aires. Oh my God, please, brother. Really? I don't believe that. I will leave you all to it, boys. It's been a nice live, couple of hours in. This was the intention. We've been talking about doing long lives in the entourage. This is the way to go. So I tried to make it nice and long. It's a pretty complete discussion, I think. And next time I come in, if I come in tomorrow night, I might do one tomorrow night. If I do, I'm doing at least one live a week. If I do, I'm going to bring some music tomorrow night. Fuck going out. Do another live, do some music, and then get out, do some cold approach in the daytime. Take it easy, boys.